My name is David Orban, and I'm very glad to have all of you following the show. Before we start, I want to remind you that even if we are live, you can always subscribe to our YouTube channel or watch past episodes both on YouTube and Facebook. We also have a Discord community, and I invite you to join to participate. You can do that going to davidorban.com/discord. And finally, if you find the show valuable, you can support it so that I myself and together with the rest of my team can keep producing this content. And you can do that by becoming a supporter on Patreon, going to patreon.com/David Orban. Today's episode is about Japan and Japan's networks. How is Japan adapting to the new normal? Is what we could call a Japan 2.0 emerging? Already, Japan had a huge shock with the Fukushima nuclear accident. And now, of course, not alone with the rest of the countries all over the world, there is a new shock of the pandemic. How is Japan changing under COVID-19? Today's guest is Jun Miyazaki, CEO of OrangeTechLab and Network Society's ambassador for Japan. Welcome, Jun. Welcome to Searching for the Question Live.
Hello. The mic is on?
Yes, you are on, and we can hear you very well.
Okay. Thank you very much for inviting me. And today I will be excited to talk with you. All right.
Thank you. So, first of all, I want to share my screen with the viewers to show I am talking to you from Italy, where I have been in lockdown for the past 3 months. And June, you are in Tokyo or around Tokyo. Tokyo is, of course, a huge city on the other end of the world. So I always like to give a context to our viewers to show them where I am as a host and our guests in case you. So tell us a little bit about the situation with regards to COVID-19. How is the lockdown or the fact that the lockdown has been lifted more or less, or it has never been as strictly in place like elsewhere in the world, for example, Italy?
Okay. You know, maybe everyone in the world know that we have a very strict constitution, so the government cannot make a strict lockdown. Even the prime minister ask to stay at home, right? Just ask, not lockdown. So that is the very strange situation compared to the others, I guess. So it's based on the special constitution after the Second World War.
Right. Very interesting. So, and no, I wasn't aware of that. And is that balance of power that is more strongly on the side of the citizens reflected in other things as well? The fact that maybe provinces are more autonomous and have more power? Could the mayor of Tokyo impose something that the constitution doesn't allow?
The constitution, as you know, the definition of a constitution is the limit the rule of government, right? It's the rule how to restrict the government can do, right? So this is the our reflection of Second World War. So the Japan has selected or asked to create a new constitution after the Second World War, and we have not changed 70 years, right? Over 70 years. So we prohibit to the war, to start war with others, right? And also we prohibit the stronger government. We don't have a strong government, just ask. So we restrict the government power to be not to be a military country again, right? This is the basic understanding of the Japanese constitution after the Second World War. Okay, so even the Abe, Prime Minister Abe, asks us to stay at home. So compared to China or compared to Korea or compared to New York or some other country, we are asked to stay at home. So the people are so how to say, eager or willing to stay at home. So that's a little bit different. So it's much more a democratic way. So
Absolutely.
that's a little bit strange, yeah.
And you just said that people are eager to stay at home. So even though it wasn't imposed, people respected the
government
invitation.
government asking. Yeah.
Very nice. So what about the economic impact? Is it expected that there will be important changes in, for example, how large or small companies can work? There are all over the world many businesses that feel that they will have a very hard time adapting to the social distancing requirements or invitations, like a restaurant, for example. So what is the perception in Japan of these economic business model changes that may be necessary?
It is also yes in Japanese small companies like restaurant and a karaoke shop,
Yeah.
or it's in a clothes company. Like, do you know Renal? I don't think as you know, but it's a middle size, or it has a history of very old clothing company. I mean the fashion company, the
Yes.
dressmaker.
Yes.
Shut down its company very recently. And also, I live in Fujisawa City. Fujisawa City is a southern part of Tokyo. And yesterday, I was announced that the noodle house has been shut down. So
But
yeah, these
you
kind
mean
of
shut down, that it will not reopen?
reopen. So some small restaurant just have rest, shut close the restaurant while the the lockdown. But the small restaurant cannot afford to maintain the cash flow, so they just shut down and do not
Exactly.
continue
It
the
is also
business
my
anymore.
it is also my understanding that the average um, profit margin of a restaurant is, let's say, 20%. So
Yeah,
if
very low.
if a small space like this has
Yeah,
10 people and
yeah.
generates 20% margin, they will be able to put in, under the new regulations, not more than 3 people. So they need 7 people ordering out, or some other way of generate the missing cash, and for most of them is impossible. So you are telling me that your favorite noodle house in your neighborhood closed, permanently closed.
Yeah, permanently closed. And a
Mhm.
karaoke shop too. The 2 karaoke shop and 1 restaurant shut down. And I remember that we had a dinner with you, right?
Yes.
When you were in Japan. So we had a dinner together, and such the type of the restaurant, the fish cooking
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
baking.
It was a very nice dinner. I absolutely remember it when I invited you on the show and you accepted. I reminded my wife because my wife was together with us as well. So what does the government say, or at least let's talk about today. Did the government provide any help for the citizens or the businesses in terms of the types of payments that have been done in Europe or in America?
There are several help from the government, but at the same time, the lockdown is mainly to these small restaurants, right? So the characteristic of COVID in our the health special health task force, we say the cluster group. Cluster means the peoples are connecting, and the COVID is infected, right? So these infection is mainly in that small restaurant at night. So the small restaurant or small drink bars are asked to shut down for a while. They're closed for a while. So the business is very hard, Some of them has very hard time. Some of them are shut down. And we say three mitsu. Three mitsu. Mitsu means close density, and close space, and what is this? What else? Anyway, three mitsu means a very dense situation we should avoid. And a typical one is such small restaurant or some the night bars, like the women are serving to the guys, right? So such businesses had very bad situation these days. And so the first for the COVID, we have to that they have to shut down or close the restaurant. And the next question is how much the government can support such small restaurant business or night bar business, right? So,
all good. No, please.
Good.
We are doing well. And the question was whether the government decided to help the businesses or also individuals, because the business at the end is in function of the individuals that need to pay rent and to feed themselves. That was the question.
Yeah, the government will support 2 million yen for each small business, including my company, right? For just giving, and for the individuals, and the government will pay 0.1 million. It's not so big, but it's still the giving money, not renting money. So
this amount is given in a single payment or over the course of the year?
It is the condition. If you are not so good business compared to the last year, the government can pay that month. That's the basic situation. So I'm not sure how much can the government support to the small business. The small business are 2 million yen, but for the individuals, 0.1 million is maybe several months. I don't know the tactics yet, but
Mhm.
the government is going to grow the amount of the money to support.
Hmm. And is there a conversation around the danger of hyperinflation that could be triggered by this large amount of yen that is being
Yeah.
put into the economy?
Yes. So thinking about the MMT, so the modern, do you know the MMT, the modern monetization theory? So it's kind of a MMT, right? So the some of the government people are very worried about the hyperinflation, but the Japan situation is a rather a deflation these days, right? Yeah, this one, the modern monetary theory, yes, MMT. So the some of the Japanese are very eager to have this can be true, and actually, in fact, we do for many years because the BOJ, the Bank of Japan, is doing a kind of this these days. So the question is whether we should do these kind of stuff to continue to the all of the country or not. So the government is hesitated, but the economy is so bad, so the government decided to give money.
Mhm.
That's the situation we have.
So the structure of the Japanese economy
Yep,
is of course varied. There are uh, many large companies and then small companies.
yep.
How would you characterize entrepreneurship and the startup culture in Japan? Is it something
Um,
that was perceived to be attractive, or young people were always encouraged to find a job at large companies instead of starting their own businesses instead?
it's a kind of a difficult question. The big companies are asking its employees to stay at home, right? And for the new guys, I mean the young guys, are willing to go into the network business, right? So the COVID is uh, um, prohibiting the people's move, right? And also the things move. I mean the product move, right? And then goes to the financial has a very big problem. I'm not sure I can't speak very good English enough, but I'm
No, no,
you
please,
know
you are
yeah.
wonderful.
Um, so the new business is around the network business. As you know, the David, you are the top of the network society, right? So
Yeah.
this is the very big opportunity for us to start something for the network business. The Japanese government is rather a paper oriented government still, because we use the paper stamp, right, for the for the approval and instead of signature. So the always the end of the contract is paper with stamp. Still, but it maybe it is rapidly changed within the 6 month. Oh yes, this one. Yes, this is our tradition. Still we
It
use.
is difficult to have a digital signature with a Hanko stamp, right?
Uh, yes. I said no, I should say. The people still rely on paper with stamp,
Yes.
but it should change. if we can change this process, everyone can stay at home, right? No a paper exchange is needed, right? So the situation is rapidly will change.
And so, how do you see the ability and the desire of Japanese people to work remotely? The ritual of the salaryman going to the office in the JRE or other subway lines and staying in the office for long hours and then going home late at night after drinking with the colleagues is a very classical image of traditional
Yep.
corporate Japan. But
Yep.
many businesses are now trying to restructure
Yep.
Twitter and Square and Google and many other even large companies in the United States, but also elsewhere,
Yep.
told
Yep.
their people to work from home, not only
Yep.
during the peak of the crisis, but
Yep.
also afterwards.
Yep.
Is this something that Japanese people would do, and even Japanese homes that are relatively small compared
Yep.
to other countries, are these homes well equipped to allow people to work from home?
Um, the situation is same. Would you please show me the map of Tokyo?
Yes. I closed the window, so I have to relaunch it. Just keep going, and I will share it as soon as I'm
Okay.
done.
Um, the Japanese population, especially around the Tokyo area, the people are living in the suburb of the Tokyo. You know, I myself is living in the southern part of Tokyo. It's the 1 hour and 20 minutes train trip from the center of the Tokyo. Okay, so the every day, yeah, this one, yeah, I live in Kanagawa.
Mhm.
If you see
Yes.
the Kanagawa. Yeah, and if you see the seashore, you see the small island attached to the sea, um,
Here in
left
the
to the
Bay.
Yokosuka Bay, near in the bay, near in the
Hmm.
bay. Make it bigger. Yeah, you see the small island to yes, this one. This is Enoshima. This island. Yeah,
Okay.
this one. This is Enoshima. No, 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 no. The right one. Right. No, 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 no. This is a different one. Uh,
Okay. You mean the
to
peninsula?
right.
The This
Yes.
one? Okay.
This one is this one. Enoshima. I live in near to the Enoshima island, and
Okay. Beautiful.
I myself is living in not in an island, but the this is the far from the center of Tokyo. So the
Yeah.
every day, a very scenery, very good scenery, and the people are enjoying surfing, right? But
Uh-huh.
it's far from the center of Tokyo. So in my case, I took a 1 hour and 20 train trip every day when I was in a big company,
Yeah.
right? I'm in Fujisawa. So yeah, this is Fujisawa, which I'm
Yeah.
living. So it's the center of Tokyo. It's a 40 kilometer or 50 kilometer from the
Hmm.
center of Tokyo. So that everybody use the commute train like a Silicon Valley BART every day. So, but after the lockdown, people staying home. So the train is very vacant, and people enjoy to spend time in home. And we have 3 hours, three
Extra.
hours to do the free things, right?
Yeah,
So
because you don't
enjoy
need to
the
stay in the train, of course.
yeah. So the people are start enjoying to do something else other than working, right? So it's coming to the network courses or reading books or the enjoy the time with family, right? So
Rather than this every day.
oh no, so this is very bad for the COVID, right?
Yes, of course.
And also, I am very curious about that. Even we did every day in a 2 months ago, still we have not have a big, the spread of the virus. We don't
Mhm.
know why, but we chose to not to do this again, right? But I'm afraid that soon we'll experience these kind of stuff again. So I very much worry about the coronavirus that's coming, right? So I don't like that. So the people are saying,
So we have a question from our audience. We have live audience, and it is nice to
yeah,
interact.
all right.
So Maurizio is asking if remote working is going to change family relations, and
Yes.
how that is going to be.
My sons and daughters are already adult, but for the younger guys, uh, they have to care. They have to care the kids. So the relationship the kids is very much tight than before, and also the school system is not so good still in Japan. So the in compared to the United States or other uh, country, the networked school is not so well developed, especially the public school, right? So the parents, I mean the father and mother, has to care of their kids, like elementary school and kindergarten.
So
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 the
the schools did not organize online courses, or the teachers are not delivering lessons online. Wow.
especially public, especially
Yes.
for the private schools, it started, but for the public, it is very hard for the school teachers to do the network classes. But university and the high school is better. Especially the university, I am a little bit related to some universities. They choose to do network training. They change completely to the network change, like an MIT or Stanford chose the online courses, right? So it is the same situation. Or
And is it expected
the
though, for many countries and many college students, the experience of going to college is not only about the courses themselves, but it is also about socializing, networking. It is also about learning all kinds of complementary skills, living alone, or in the campuses too. So
yeah.
the online courses are such that maybe the learning experience is good, and for some it could be even better, but all the other components of university life are not there anymore. And at least in the US, already people are expecting a lot of universities to go bankrupt because the students
Mhm,
will
mhm,
not enroll, or they will
mhm,
not be ready to pay the same tuition that they were paying before.
mhm,
And
mhm.
and is the Japanese university system free or low cost or expensive like in the US? How are the universities going to be able to adapt as well?
I don't see any news that the university bankrupt yet in Japanese. The Japanese term systems are a little bit different. The Japanese term starts from April and ends the next year's March. So the this is the very beginning of the university new semester, right? So the people are
Hmm.
entering, and they don't have the graduation. The graduation was not face to face. It's network. and also the
Okay.
entrance, and also the network. So the people the students are worried about. They are start the networked training or network education from the first. So that's the situation we face right now. But I don't see any university bankrupt yet. But you may know the Japanese have very huge number of universities everywhere. So maybe we will hear some of the university bankrupt soon. I don't have any idea yet.
So, what are, in your opinion, the opportunities that this pandemic actually represents? In my conversations with other guests on previous episodes of Searching for the Question Live, I would try to look at what tensions were accumulating for a long time, even before the pandemic, and then highlight the fact that the lockdown and the re-evaluation of so many business models actually represented an opportunity to resolve these tensions. And maybe it is an opportunity that was squandered in 2008 with the financial crisis, because there have been very few reforms, or almost none. And the opportunity that we have now should not be squandered. So,
Yeah.
understanding what are those tensions in various countries and how they can be addressed thanks to the pandemic, and the
Yeah.
fact that it is opening our minds to new possibilities. So is this a
Yeah.
conversation that is happening in Japan?
Yes, we have to. This is a good opportunity for us to change our existing system, right? So it is the same situation, and the the system can be changed by the CXOs. CXO means a CEO and CTO, but the most influential one is COVID, Corona, C.
Yeah.
So we have to. That's the situation. I feel. So we have a rapid speeding up compared to the previous shocks. I mean, the Lehman shock or some others, or even Fukushima. Fukushima is a much more suburb, in the north part of the Tokyo. So the people will not so change. But for this one, I mean, the corona shock is spread all over the Japan. Lockdown and stay at home and cannot work, or even cannot open their the company, right? So people naturally goes to network or goes stay at home, and the working style is go to the so-called new normal, and then I guess. So it's very rapid changing, and after the corona, the no the new normal is the normal one, right? So never come back the old situation. We have experienced the previous corona situation, so we have to do new things, right? Companies, our country. We will experience a very rapid change.
And do you believe that that large companies are going to be fast enough to implement these changes? Are they going to be nimble and adapt as they need to?
Wait a minute. I have network program. I'm doing a network reconnection. So still you can hear us, I
Yes,
guess.
I can.
Yeah.
So my question was about large
network is
companies and
not so
whether
good.
you believe that large
Also,
companies are going to be able to adapt as they need to.
right. Oh my God. Wait a minute. I will stop the video for a while.
Okay, no problem. We can still hear you, of course, and that is good.
I am connecting the network. It's going up again. So it's in a few. Would you please say again the question?
The question was about the speed of adaptation required. Individuals and small companies are assumed to be faster to adapt. And my question was, do you believe that large companies are going to be able to adapt fast enough as well? Or will they have a harder time, especially in Japan, where respect for authority and respect for the elderly are strongly influencing the speed of decisions?
It's a kind of difficult question, but still, I think the government is struggling to adapt, and large companies are also struggling to adapt. And the large company has still have a good the cash flow. I mean, so it works well.
Mm-hmm. Your video is now.
Okay, I think it's coming back, not the network.
Okay, wonderful. Now,
what I'm thinking. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
one of the areas of conversation that we always have is, of course, around various groups of technologies that we believe are maturing and will also drive the social changes. Things like solar energy, hydroponics, Bitcoin and blockchain. Tell me a little bit about, or also Internet of Things, which is, of course, part of your specific consulting business, as well as artificial intelligence. So tell me a little bit about how you feel those technologies are accelerating. And Maurizio is also asking what will be the impact on industrial supply and distribution chains?
Good question. Good question. I think the Japan is chose to be a globalization, right? So which means we use our China, but I think it's the Japanese. Some of the Japanese company is going back to Japan or change the direction to the Vietnam or India or some other countries too. So we have two choices: keep the globalization or go back to Japan. Okay, so the keep the globalization is a somewhat just change the China bond to some other countries, right? So it's not a big change. But for the movement to going back to Japan is a big impact. So it's a kind of the 3R, the reset, the reset, restart, and what was the third one? Reset. I forget. Reset.
Refocus. Refocus.
Yeah, maybe. Refocus, maybe.
Or readjust.
Readjust. Okay. Oh, yeah. So if we select 3R and come back to Japan, we have to do the much more efficiency using the network and AI technology, such as IoT, such as the solar energy, hydro energy, right? So even the Bitcoin, the Japan is the least developed for the the government level. In a government level, we don't adopt Bitcoin yet, right? Like Estonia or some other. So in the context of the MMT, we have latent possibility to adopt the Bitcoin at the government level. It's my personal opinion, right? But still, as you know, you have a good presentation at Shibuya, the center of Tokyo, that the Bitcoin, or the people are eager to adapt in the private way for the Bitcoin or blockchain, right? But for the government level, not yet. But this time, maybe this is a good opportunity in the context of the MMT. I think the Bitcoin or blockchain is a good opportunity for the Japanese government. This is just a personal opinion, but I guess we should do something because China is already going to the electric money, right?
Yes,
and some other countries as well. So this is a good opportunity for us to do something.
So the latest expression that is being used is central bank digital currency, and these are stable coins that are digital money.
This one.
And whether the blockchains that these would run on are accepted by the traditional blockchain community as being sufficiently decentralized and distributed, that is almost by definition not the case, because the very point of their design is to have a centralized control. And as well, the payments must not be uncensorable. They must be censorable, because the control that the various governments want to exercise on these payments is such that they don't want to allow a peer-to-peer transmission of money without control. But of course, they feel already the competition of Bitcoin and other digital currencies, especially, of course, the various governments have been shocked when they learned about the announcement of Libra by Facebook, and that was an especially important kind of wake up moment for them, because they realized that if they don't move, then they will be swept away, and they will lose the control of the financial lever, potentially lose control of the fiscal lever as well. And so the projects of central bank digital currency initiatives have been accelerated by the Libra announcement. And how important that was, I think, has been highlighted by the fact that a lot of initial members left because oh yeah, Visa and Mastercard and Vodafone left the Libra association. I believe, and I have no information, neither first nor second hand about this, but I would be pretty sure that they had conversations with regulators, and regulators told them that it was in their interest not to participate in the Libra association. So they considered the pros and the cons, and they decided that it was better not to participate. Now, we don't know exactly how Libra is going to perform. Recently, for example, they decided that rather than having a single basket of multiple currencies in order to fix the value of Libra, they will have a multiple basket of single currencies, which makes no sense because obviously there will be one Libra regardless of how you balance it. But it is certainly fascinating. And there are central banks like, as we saw, the Bank of Japan, that are considering how to design and potentially issue a digital currency, and this will be important in understanding how monetary policy, economic policy, fiscal policy is going to be enacted all over, as well as in Japan.
Yeah.
So Jun, in closing, tell us a little bit about your business, OrangeTechLab. I shared the website of OrangeTechLab. You work mainly with Japanese customers, is that correct?
Yes and no. Most of the clients are in Japan, but some of them are global company. So we are in Japan, but the business is much more global these days. And then we have two major things. One is the AI consultation. The other is I don't have a good explanation in my homepage, but we do our technology management consultation, because if we consult to the AI products or AI POCs, it's naturally goes to the technology management consulting, because then most of the small company or even a big company does not have a good ability to do the AI, right? So it goes to the how do they create a technology strategy. So it goes to the technology management consulting, right? So the AI consulting goes to the technology management consulting. That's we are doing now.
Wonderful, wonderful. So Jun, good luck to you personally, but also good luck to all of Japan, and with taking advantage of the opportunity that the current situation represents for positive changes in society and business. So thank you very much for being with us today.
Yeah, it's very enjoyable. It's And after that, we discussed dinner at the night, the fishing, cook fishing, right? So it's very good to discuss with you again. So
Absolutely.
please say hello to your wife too, right?
I will. I will. I will. Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Bye.
thank you, everybody, for being here with Searching for the Question Live. If you speak Italian, I will invite you to join also and subscribe to my Italian language YouTube channel on davidorban.com/YouTube Italiano. And I also want to thank our supporters on Patreon in closing, who helped me and my team produce the show. And see you at the next episode of Searching for the Question Live. Goodbye.